Why am I clicking for affinity? Why? Oh. I already saw that page. What am I doing? Yeah. I'd say let's do it for about 3 hours. I think last time we did it, let me see, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, no, about 2 hours. 2 hours should be fair enough. Let's make sure Photoshop's all good. Yes, it is. Okay, let's get that. I don't know which number it is, so I'm going to take a wild guess and hope I didn't click the wrong one. 3.2? Yes. I'm a genius. Oh, look at that. That's not the way it was last time I was live streaming. I think something has changed about the height of this a little bit, so I'm going to adjust it. I feel like something's missing right there where it was. So it doesn't really matter. I'll change the height. I'll put it maybe, I'd say that's about, I'd say 705. It's really close to 705. I think 710 will do it. Yep. Close. 720. There we go. That looks good. Hello. How you doing? My apologies for the music. It's annoying, of course, but necessary. Okay. So my thoughts before starting this live stream was that I was done enough with the inking that I can just start doing the coloring, the background portion of it. I was wrong. Oh man, goes to show I did not pay attention to my own art when I started this live stream, but that's okay. That's fine. I guess that leaves us with a little bit of review, right? You know what I mean? A little helpful review on how we do the shading part at least. So what should have been done is everything that you see here already, like all the shadowing should have been done already. This is hello, buddy, and welcome to another stream. Please tell you're here and hit that well, I don't think you can hit the like button if you're, that's the thing, and I just realized that, and that's one of the reasons why I wasn't bugging people last time. If you can't hit the like button, one, if you haven't even seen what the stream's about, and then two, if you don't have an account, right? So it makes sense. I mean, a lot of people don't really have YouTube accounts. They just pop in, they look and see, and then go. That line's the wrong color. Whoops. Let's fix that. Okay, this is something I thought I had done, so oops on my part. That's a real oops on my part. My bad. You guys forgive me for that. Like a failure on my part by not finishing this part off. Doop. Yeah, I'm pretty damn sure that's on the top layer. Unless there's something else on top, right? No? Yeah, it is. It's just a really low opacity. Interesting. Alright, so like last stream, the music has a glitch added to it. There's a reason why I added that little glitch to it, so the music will sound weird at times. A lot of times. Just so you know, it's not your computer acting goofy. If you notice, my voice probably sounds correct, and then everything else sounds kind of weird in the background, which is okay. It's not about the music. Come on, what is that? Oh, set to color. Oh, you are so stupid. I was working on something from class and I needed to change the color of a certain part of it, so that's the reason why it was set that way. Ooh, I can't read that. Let me zoom in. As a matter of fact, hold on, I'm gonna do something for the live stream too, because I found out that you can't actually read this either. So let's change this to, I'm gonna lower this to 620, and I'm gonna lower this to 100. Oh boy, I didn't mean to do that. Whoa. Okay, maybe not 100, maybe like 150. What is that? Why is it so wide? Oh, I said 150, not 1,500. I think I have to just make that look a little bit fatter. Just a tiny bit bigger. Oh yeah, no, we can't do that. I want to so bad, but I can't. It's not allowing me to do it. See, I can't do that. Come on. Yeah, why did I go mess with this thing anyway? It was fine the way it was. It was tiny though. See, the problem with it being super tiny is that you can't read it afterwards. You probably can't read it now either. Oh boy, come on. There you go, buddy. Enjoy. Let's make that a little bit smaller. I guess that's okay for today's stream. I'll just leave it like that. It looks like the names are being cut off, which is not good. I don't like that. I'll raise it. Maybe I'll raise it at like 570. Oh, don't do that to me. There we go. At least now you can see the names. I like that. Yeah. Okay, so today was supposed to be a tutorial in reference to the background section of the drawing, which is what I kind of didn't do last time because I didn't have background. And I still don't have a background here anyway, so I don't even know what I'm talking about, right? Can I zoom this in for a second, please? I can't read you guys' messages. Oh, zoom. Oh, it's like 80%, which is kind of weird. There we go. It's 100%. Now I can see. Nice to meet you too, Mr. A. You don't have an icon, so I don't know who you are clearly. But you know, I'm a visual person. You know what I'm saying? Visual. I learn visuals. That's what we call it. The reason why I didn't actually finish this last time in the live stream is because one, I was having some issues with the drawing in general. There was a lot of stuff that wasn't right, and I didn't want to bother you guys fixing all those minuscule things. Like, I went offline and did it. Even at that, not all the stuff's fixed. I say some stuff is just hidden, so you can't see it. It's just something you can do, by the way. Doesn't have to be perfect. I wonder if anybody in this live stream has taken the, like, actually tried the process that I was advertising last time, which is this one, where you take the lines and kind of vector them into the drawing a little bit, you know. Oh, I know who you are. Ah, never mind. Yeah, I've seen you around. Ooh, I don't know what that is, but let's skip it. If you sent me a message on anything but here, I would not be able to see right now because I'm just extremely lazy. I think that one just needs to be light colored. And then we can do the shadow for this one right here. All right. For those people who are not in the stream, you can actually check it out. It's gonna be the last stream that I posted. It should be a video called how to draw Pokemon, or how I draw Pokemon fan art, and you can go and check that out. It will depict all these steps that I am about to go over right now. So in fact, if you stay in here, you'll get them. Or you can check that video out. It needs more views. Come on. Alright, so the process that I went over last time, which you probably missed, because if you weren't here the last time, and this is your first time being in one of my live streams, then you would know that it's a little bit, from what you may see, it's a little complicated. Not as complicated as it is, though. Nope. So what you're doing, basically, is you're taking the shape tool, which is going to be found over here in this little toolbar on your side. I've blown everything up so you can kind of see it a little bigger on your screen. And you're going to click down here. Yeah. Oh, let's go down there. Right here. See that? That shape. Mind you, you have to have Photoshop first. Alright? I just wanted to let you know about that first. You have to have Photoshop. And then if you have Photoshop, I highly recommend like CS3 or CS4 is good. I don't know about 5. I'll be honest with you. I think I tried 5 and the method didn't work for certain parts. You can still do pretty much most of this. But I think with the ellipse tool, with the circle tool, that's where you run to a snag. And if you run into that snag, I would just say get Photoshop CS3. It doesn't cost anything, as far as I remember, because I don't remember ever paying for Photoshop, ever. Or I forgot. I completely forgot about paying for Photoshop whenever I didn't pay for it. Alright, so anyway, once you have a Photoshop CS3, then you're going to go ahead and, either sketch your drawing. I don't know if you're good at that. If you're not good at that, you can always draw it on paper, scan it in. Once your drawing has been scanned in, you're going to take and darken the background ever so slightly. And this is because you're working in color lines. In actuality, if you're just working in black and white lines, for example, then you really don't actually need to darken anything. You can just go straight, the same brightness of your background, but I would recommend that you would take the paintbrush tool, which is right up here, and then lower the opacity right over here to like maybe 50% or something, around that number, and then raise the size of the brush to like the biggest size so it covers your canvas, so you don't have to sit down there and work all the way around it. And then what you're going to do is kind of like, you're going to lighten your lines up a little bit. And the reason why you're going to do that is because if you scan it in, you're going to have some lines that are really dark. And if you start inking stuff in just black and white, or black ink, so you're not doing any color stuff, you're not going to be able to see your lines when they're behind, when they're in front of the background, which is black, because it's the same color. So in order to avoid that, that's the reason why you lighten your lines up, so you can see where the lines are, which is what I recommend. You don't have to do that. You can go ahead and struggle through that process, but I'd rather people not struggle. I'd rather it just be as easy as possible. That way you'd want to do it more. Alright, next step after that is you're going to, and I would depict this, but you know what, I will depict this. You'll see it in a second, alright? So I'm not just talking, I'm going to show you it in just a moment. So you just got to hang in there, I'm going to show you it. Yep. Why are you squinting? Is it not showing? Hold on. Give me a second. Let me see what's going on here. Oh, she is nips. I refreshed it. Yeah, it's working. Stop it. I mean, it's a little bit on the blurry side, but it's not too blurry. You can see it. Okay. All right. So I'm not gonna go too much into detail on the stuff that's already done because that's been done since like before. So we're not gonna go over that. But I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you it on stuff that's not done, like the Snivy in the background here, and then this pokeball that's also here. That would be a great example of pretty much everything that I'm gonna talk about in this live stream, and a nice review on last time's live stream, so you guys get all the information that you need. But for now, I'm just going to do it. You're going to see it, and you'll probably not understand all of it if you didn't see last time's stream. You still can, though, if you want. It's kind of like cheating. You go over there and check it out. Alright, let's go. Let's get these lines in here. Let's get it done. Or get it really close to being done. I feel like there's just not enough time in 2 hours to get it done, but I do want to start getting the background done, so at least I do the tutorial on the background, which is what this whole stream was about, before I actually looked at it and was like, oh crap, I'm not done. Not there yet. So yeah, this is supposed to be about the background and how I do the background and how that method is completely different than everything that you saw last stream. Completely different. But like, for instance, knife is not there. Where is Mr. Knife? Aw, no knife. Alright, so I gotta draw the knife still. I do have to draw the knife. Let me see if I can find a good reference for color. You know what, in fact, I'll just redo the colors over again. They're not too hard to figure out. So I like to keep it consistent, but at the same time, I mean, it's a knife. It's not that hard. Ooh, I thought that reference was gonna pop up right on here. I'd be like, whoa, there's some Lucario stuff right there for YouTube. I probably have to end the stream and delete it before they find out. Yeah. All right. Let's do it. All right. So yeah, sure. Maybe I should. Yeah, I should definitely. 1 second. I know I said I'm gonna do it, but you gotta wait just a moment, and then I'll start. You'll see it's super easy. You're gonna love it. Whenever you actually try it yourself, you're gonna love it. If you try it yourself, of course. I don't know if you guys want to try it. There was a guy. I don't know if you guys follow me on Ink Bunny or anything like that, you would see this dude. He was very, very, very upset apparently that I was teaching this method right here, because he stated that there was a much better method of doing this type of thing. Like, he said his method is way better than mine, and that I should be using that method and not this method to draw my stuff. Very interesting, very, very interesting. He was very adamant about it, and in fact left a very detailed message on my Ink Bunny. If you're interested, go to my go to the post that this was advertised under, and then just read through. I don't know if that guy is in the stream right now. He might be, he might not be. It doesn't really matter. No offense to that person, but I could not understand how on earth that method works. Like, I'm always open to new things, right? I'm always open to new stuff, but I can't figure it out. I was looking at it. Yeah, I don't know how that works. You guys probably have to teach me how it works. Like, if maybe you guys can look at it and see something, or maybe you guys have actually tried the method that he was talking about yourself and it actually worked out for you. But I can't. I swear I don't understand it. Like, he's schooling me on it though. He was like straight up like adamant that this is the best way of doing it. And I was like, okay, what you need to do is show me an example of this method, like, in use. Like, what is a good example of using this method that is so great that I need to try it over mine. you know, over what I do and what I'm trying to teach people here. And he couldn't give me an example. That was funny. I was like, oh, okay. All right. No examples. Just, it's cool, it's great, it works, it's the best thing in the world, but I can't show you how it works personally. My next question was going to be, do you feel that my art should look the way that that example is? That would be my next question, you know what I mean? Because I don't know if there's any problem with the way I do art now. Do you guys see any issues with the way the art is done? I don't. I have to ask you guys, because you guys would know better than I would. You guys see any issues with this stuff? Oh boy. I feel like that's the top layer. I feel like that's top layer. Is it top? Dude, that thing is not showing up at all. Oh, because the opacity is low. Okay, cool. Let's go down. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Well, I mean, thanks, but like, I could read it. I could read it to you. Maybe you guys. Did anyone actually see that on Ink Bunny? I don't know if anybody here is from Ink Bunny or not, but if you are, and have you seen that post? Are you guys familiar with the style that he's talking about? Or the method that he's talking about? Ooh, that's not right. That's wrong. Well, I'll be honest with you. I wasn't really planning on changing anything. I was just wondering, because, you know, I'm curious about new stuff. Like, this guy's like saying that this is the thing. This is what you should be doing, and this is, what you should be doing, pretty much. I'm not saying that he's saying my style is wrong. I mean, not my style, but my style of cell shading is wrong or anything. But he was very clear that what I was doing was not the correct thing. Or not the thing to be doing, I guess. Not the most effective way of doing it, if you must. I mean, you guys need to actually see what was written, and then maybe you guys can work with that. I don't know. Maybe that is it. Any guys in here that actually use Photoshop? I want to know first before I go posting messages about stuff that nobody has a clue about. They're like, new gear. That's too brown. A little bit red. Yeah. But exactly, right? That's why I was okay, you can understand why I asked for an example now. At least I don't feel like I feel like I was the bad guy in that whole conversation, because I wasn't like appreciative of the advice. I was more or less like, can you prove it? But yeah, I want to try anything that'll make me faster if it can get the same like results out of it. But I don't think that would be it. Not only that, I can't even freaking understand like how it works. Okay, but anyways, back to the thing, because I've actually been eating up some of your guys' time with the questions. Yeah, back to what I was doing, which I've been doing for some time now, and you guys are probably sitting down wondering what in the world this guy's doing now. This guy's probably like, crap, he's not explaining anything. You know what? I already kind of like went beyond the point of explaining this one, but I will explain other stuff. There's other stuff that I'll draw, so don't worry about it. I got you guys covered. I think from this point onward, the knife is like gray. So go image, go to adjustments, and instead of going to hue and saturation, just gotta go black and white. Bang, and there you go. You have gray. Easy. I mean, it's not really gray. It's supposed to be what you call it? It's like a silver, but the lines for the inking portion of it is supposed to be gray for that. And I can just replicate this little part right down here. Sorry for the guys who are sitting in the room wondering why in the world is that song sounding like that this time around. I had to alter it, okay? YouTube has are in their feels, okay? I don't want YouTube to be feeling a type of way towards my unaltered music. I don't get that though. At what point are you using multiply? Are you overlaying colors, changing opacity, and then using multiply? Is that what they're talking about? Like, if like for instance, if you take purple and you use that as your shadow, is that what he's talking about? Because I do that, but I don't do it as my primary source of shading. And by the way, there was way more information that I put out there than just how to color. Like the last stream, I did everything from how to color, well, from how to draw the lines to how to color the lines. Alright, well, anyway, if you guys have Photoshop for any reason, and if you don't have Photoshop, Google Photoshop CS3, a portable version of it. I'm sure most people here have used Photoshop. If you haven't, it's okay, it's fine. It's not really that difficult to use. I mean, I know that sounds like a personal opinion and all, but it's not. You'd be okay. And then what you're gonna do, I think I chewed that knife a little too long. And you're gonna follow the next steps that I'm going to tell you. Not at this very second, but I will tell you in a second. Because, as I said, the knife is already pretty much drawn, and I rather just start on something that's not already drawn. That's okay, buddy. I won't force you to do anything that you don't want to do. But that's not to say that I'm not going to tell you how it's done. I'll let you know how it's done. Pretty cool. You'll see. So, even though it may seem like a whole lot right now, you still might want to try it someday. Not today, of course. I'm not gonna. Like I said, you don't have to worry about that. Not pushing Photoshop on anybody. Just saying this is the way I do it on Photoshop. And if you use Photoshop, if you use Photoshop or you tried Photoshop or you're actually interested in trying Photoshop or anything like that, this might actually be helpful for you. And I don't know if Clip Studio actually has any of the features that Photoshop has, like the transform and the warp stuff, but if it does, then you actually might be able to take some of this information and translate it over to there and be able to use it to your advantage, maybe. But like I said, I don't know. Clip Studio is actually pretty interesting, by the way. That software has way more than Photoshop, at least the new version of it. Photoshop doesn't really have a lot of that stuff in it. I want to try it, and I think I actually downloaded it at some point after I saw Buddy doing some animation stuff in Clip Studio, and it seemed pretty interesting. I know you can do animations in Photoshop, but not to that extent. That was actually pretty cool. Oh, God. There we go. Is this the song I think it is? It sounds so weird, dude. I had to skip that track. That is one really nice track, by the way. It's just the settings that I have put together to modify it, I think it's screwing with the frequency so much that it sounds like pure nothing. I don't know what I can describe that song. It didn't sound good at all. That's sad. It's a good song. It's really good, actually. Don't worry, on Picardo you will hear about it. It's really nice. Don't worry. Of course, I can't finish live streaming this here because the YouTube only permits so much character exposure, I guess. Don't worry, guys. It'll be great. But yes, no, as I said, I will get to the background. So you guys, if you can just wait a moment, I will get to the background and I'll be able to show you. That looks like a freaking looks like one of those spreaders, like something you use to spread butter or spread like icing on a cake. It does not look like a knife at all. See, I knew that was rasterized. I felt like it was. Alright. That's fine. That's cool. Let's go ahead and merge all this stuff down, except for this gray. Anything that's gray is not going to get merged down, because that's the handle, so it's on top of it. Yeah. Maybe it should go in front of his ear. I think it should. I think it should go right there, and for it would be. It looks like it's impaling his head if it's there though. I think I'll just pass on that and just have it go the direction that it was going in before. I think that's one of the reasons why I had that little angle happening, is because of that. Because of where his head is, but it's fine. It's fine. It looks like it's really dangerously close to Lucario's arm though. You know what I mean? I mean, if I erase Lucario's arm, it looks like it's cutting in there a little bit. Don't worry. It's not. But I'll leave that to you guys' imagination, okay? Oh boy. Alright. So for the knife part of it, I'm going to leave that layer separate on top of the layer because this is going to be multiple things. It's not just going to be this, obviously. If you remember the full version of this drawing, it had nothing to do with this at all. I'm going to make that handlebar a tiny bit shorter. Although in all honesty, it's always been long. Let's try it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't matter. I'll put it back the way it was. Whoops, that is the wrong layer, my friend. Oh, is that duplicated? There we go. I think that looks a lot nicer. I don't know about you guys, but it looks good. It looks like it's the foreshortening works a little better with it with the handle a little shorter. So I'm going to duplicate that layer and I'm going to lock it like with the other layers because they're all locked. The reason why the top layers are all locked is so that we don't accidentally run into them again and accidentally add some fill to it. That's why one layer has all the fill and the other layers don't. Alright. So I'm gonna steal some of that nice little. I would actually steal the white color rather than that blue, but it's fine. I'll take the white. It's fine. Go on the background layer and then draw in that, and then we're gonna steal this nice little dark black color, and then we're gonna fill in this section right here. And then all you have to do now is just, well, actually not true. Normally if I merge everything together, I don't have to do that, but in this case I do because the knife is underneath that. Alright, let's raise the knife a little bit now, shall we? Ooh, hold on, I want to read. Oh man, that's a lot of writing. Dude, you write a lot. I like that. Good stuff. Welcome back, my friend. Oh, I've done it again. Alright, so apparently doesn't matter what tolerance I have. Remember that mistake I told you about earlier? If you have any part of your drawing that matches the background, it won't actually pop up on here as a separate color. So the moment you try to take the paint bucket tool and fill it in, it will immediately eat up whatever lines you have already in place. That's that color. So that's why I can't use that. Yeah, I think that knife needs to be on the top layer. So let's see if I can move it and then adjust it. Yee. Sorta. I think it's best to just go here on this layer right here and then copy some of this good stuff. My apologies on the music. Yeah, sometimes I had to apologize. Sometimes the music is not good. Like now. I'm only skipping that track not because it's not good and it's not a good 8-bit version of the track, but because it's a well-known track, and with the glitch, it'll sound like just lagging all over the place because people will know what track that's like, how it's supposed to sound. So just to avoid that altogether, I'm skipping it. Leave it alone. All right, so I copied that part, I'm locking it, and then I'm gonna paste that part right on top of there, the knife. That helps seal it off a little bit. There it is. I should have did the same thing for this, but that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. No, it's not. Darn it. Yeah, I have to do the same thing for the hand as well. Just a little bit of the hand though, not the whole thing. Yeah. See, it works for the top here. So the background, which is the fill side, needs to come over top. And then the same thing that we did before, we're going to go onto the main layer here, and then we're going to copy all this part right here. Everything that's supposed to overlap, we're going to copy that, and then we're going to paste it right on top of the knife, and then that should make it look good. And I'm sorry I'm not going into too many details on how to do that, but I will. Not this very second, but I'll tell you how it's done in a second. I mean, later on. And if I forget to get something in this stream, I will definitely do it in the next one. Promise. Although the next one is going to be mostly drawing stuff, so. Did I tell you that there was going to be another Lucario thing for this month? Yep. There is. It's going to be fun. You guys going to like it. Alright, there we go. That's done. So now you find that brown color, whatever that brown color might be. I think it's going to be like a variation of this. A little bit more saturated, yeah. Alright, and then we paste that in there. Of course, no, we just scribble it in there. I'd love to just use the paint bucket tool right now and just be straight flying through this, but I can't. Unfortunately, because all these openings are here, you can't actually use a paint bucket tool, or you're not allowed to. The rules are rules, right? What? No, I take that back. Actually, yes, I have. Here you go. You want to see a Mewtwo in its mega form? Enjoy. I'll link it to you right here on YouTube. I don't think they will flag the video for a weird picture. I doubt it. Here you go. Is that a Mewtwo? I don't even think that's a Mewtwo. Or is it? Well, here, anyway, have it. Enjoy. Mega. I had a lot of fun when I was messing around with that Pokemon. I feel like underneath that needs to just be a different color altogether, but I can't do it now that I've already messed up the color. So, come on, thing, load. Ugh. Okay, fine, whatever. I'll just find it. I'll find it on my own. How's that sound? There we go. I think that should be that color right there. Yeah, I like that better. No, we don't want a line in there. Thank you. I thought every single one of those layers were already rasterized layers, but they weren't. And now the color's wrong. That's not right. Alright, there you go. That's not cool. That's not a cool thought. That's a bad thought. Stop thinking that. Ugh. I think that lighter tone should go on this side right here. Probably can't be that light at all because of yeah, it can't be that light. But I'll merge everything down and I'll just eraser tool it away until it's about right. Ooh, that was too much. That was way too much. There we go. Let's get a little bit on that off. Alright, skip it. I don't even know what that track's about, but skip it anyway. Alright, I'm going to do some quick cheap stuff right here in this knife section because I really don't want to spend too much more time on the knife. So I'm going to take this dark blue, which is there, and then I'm going to just take the paintbrush tool and add somewhat like a reflection, but at the same time it's not a reflection. Right there at the top. And then I'm going to add another one on the other side of this highlight right here. Yeah, that should do it. It should be that big. It should be smaller than that. About this size is good. There you go. Yep. I think that one needs to be more in the direction of the ear. Yeah. Let's do that. I'm running out of time. I want to do the freaking background. I want to show people how this background thing is done, bro. Yeah, you know, I'll just leave it at 1. It's fine. Darn it. Alright, or I mean, we're getting closer to the background. That at least counts for something, right? Oh, man. Okay, go ahead and do that. I'll still probably be here, so you're not going to miss out on anything. I'll probably be right here sitting with my ass down. Alright, so I'm going to steal this Pokeball. I'm not going to actually steal the Pokeball like I did last time. I did it last time, and maybe I'm overusing the same position of that Pokeball. But I will be using the Pokeball's colors. Just all I'm taking. Just the colors off of it. Can I get one that doesn't have Ink Bunny content on it? I really would like that. I think there was like a censored version that actually had Pokeballs, the Pokeballs that I need. Ooh, that's nice. Ooh, very nice. Also very nice. Actually very nice too. Come on, music, stop it. Jeez, I'm searching for something. I did not need music like that for my search session. Oh man, I cannot find it to save myself, man. I really can't. So I'm just gonna use an altered version of the same Pokeball, and I'll just raise the contrast a little bit and up the opacity, well, up the saturation just a pinch, or lower it. I don't know. One of the things that I need to do in order to prevent myself from drawing a faded, overly faded object, because the whole thing hasn't really been set to the how I had that Pokeball in the other drawings. Like, let me open another picture of something else, because I don't want to accidentally expose YouTube to the horrors of Pokemon art. That Pokeball is extremely rendered, like overly rendered. It has the colors that I need, it's just like, it's not right though. Don't you hate when you have to find something and, you know, you think you have, hold on. Oh man, I don't even want to open that because I'm pretty sure there's dongs all over it. Trying to be smart about it. Here we go. Alright, where's the Pokeball? Ooh, that was a close call. Okay, this one has no Pokeball in it, so that's useless to, wait, hold on, cancel that, let me see something. Yeah, it doesn't have a Pokeball. What the hell? How do I even have a version that doesn't have a Pokeball in it? That's weird. Alright, well, here's the version that has the Pokeball in it. Alright, so even though it seems extremely complicated, I'm going to explain to you step by step. Here we go. I'm going to use the Pokeball as my practice, I guess. I call it practice. Alright, so you're going to pick the color that you want to color your sketch. This is your sketch. This is what you have scanned in. This is what you want to use right here. My god, if that music... Hold on. Okay, anything was better than that. Alright, so this is your sketch. You have your sketch down here. Let's say, for instance, you don't have all this. So I'm actually going to hide all this stuff here. You don't actually need all that. Let me make sure it's all knife layer. That's knife, that's knife. Okay, good. Let's go ahead and merge those two together. Okay, now we have a knife. Boom. You know what? Before I do that, let me not forget to add the shadow for the knife before I just, I do that. Because knowing me, I would do it. I would just leave that shadow completely missing from there and then end up posting it with that issue. So before I do this, Crap. Alright. I always like to cover my grounds, man. I don't like leaving any stone unturned. And I'm pretty dang sure if I left that like that, I would forget. Not that I'm a very forgetting person. I don't forget stuff very easily. But I sure as hell don't remember stuff easily either. Forget it. It's a tongue twister. Oh no. Oh, nuts. Oh, that's horrible. Alright, whatever. Let's just erase that. There you go. Now he's holding a knife. Sort of. He's sort of holding a knife. Okay, so now that we have that sorted out, and I can merge that together all in one layer. Merge layers. Bam. There you go. The task has been completed. Just leave that alone. I'm gonna lock that layer so that we have the knife on top. And then we have these lines here that's also on top, all locked up. I can take all that away. And actually I'm gonna take away this. Okay, so we can start right from the very basic thing. So you're not distracted by stuff that's going on around it either. Let's do it this way. I do need, however, that line color. Alright. So you have your sketch, you have your pokeball, which is what we're going to be coloring right now. The first step that you want to take, because this is an ellipse, this whole thing is an ellipse. If you have Photoshop CS3, is you're going to go to your shape tools right here on your left hand side, and you're going to see what you were originally drawing with. It might be like the box for starters, but you're going to go down here, you're going to click it, press down, hold, drag over, whoa. And then go right to the ellipse tool and select it. Boom, you have your ellipse. Now you're going to take and draw your ellipse right over the top of whatever object you're interested in. Adding a what do we call that? Line around. Outline. You want to outline this. So this is a pokeball. It's supposed to be symmetrical all the way around. So for this case, you're going to hit your shift button, shift, on your keyboard. And then you can draw it out and it'll be symmetrical. See, look. I'm holding shift. So no matter which way I go, it's still going to be a nice round circle. You don't have to worry about trying to figure out how to make it a perfect circle all the way around. Alright, once you're done, you can let go of shift and you can adjust accordingly, and then voila, you have yourself a pokeball. I'm just kidding, you have yourself a round circle. That shouldn't even be translucent. So make sure your opacity is at 100% because that's important. This music also sucks. It's not like I didn't vet the music or anything. Alright, so right here, let me go back. I double clicked on the layer on the layers, so you make sure you have your layers open. If you don't have your layers open, you want to go right here up to the very top, click on window, scroll down, and find the thing that says layers right here. If it's got a check mark on it, that means it's on your screen somewhere and you just haven't found it yet. Look around for it. But of course, if it's not checked off, just click on it and it'll pop up. See, there it is, gone. And you got a window, layers. There's your layers. Make sure it's make sure OBS didn't do some crazy stuff. Nope, it's still good. All right. Now you want to double click on this right here, which is your layer. And then you want to go ahead, make sure it fills 100% if it's not 100%. Usually by default it'll be 100%. And this right here would be just filled in. This color right here does not matter because you're going to make a stroke, so you don't really matter. It doesn't really matter. You can go right over here to stroke. Right there, click on it. And I would say make your stroke on the inside. If you want some really nice, strong, sharp edges, making it on the inside is better than having it on the outside. But for a circle or ellipse, it doesn't really matter. I'll do inside because I'm just used to doing that. And then you're gonna pick your color for the inside, and I would choose that color right there. But whatever color you're planning on making the lines, if it's black, then you can just make it black. It's fine. Then you want to change this right here, the pixels. Pixels per inch, but just the pixels, whatever. You want to make that, let's say, for this one, we're gonna make it 4. There you go. All right. Now you're gonna go back to your blending options, and you see right here where it says fill opacity. You want to click on that. You want to lower that all the way down to 0. There you go. Now it's 0. Yep. I'll make that 5. Just make it a little thicker. Although it's a pokeball, it doesn't really have to be that thick. So I think the inner lines are all going to be like really light. All right. Ooh, that's a little dark. All right. So now you have what you would think is a nice line around it, and now you can go in and start doing stuff to it. That is absolutely wrong. You can't. If you do go around messing with this thing right here, one, hit that eraser tool, and you try to erase anything inside of it, you will render it, which is okay. It doesn't really matter because it's just going to be about the size of the pokeball anyway, so you'll be fine. However, if you go inside and try to render it, you're going to get this shit. This actually can be useful for some stuff. But not really. For this purpose, you don't really want to do that. You want to leave it rendered as much as possible, and you also want to whatchamacallit? I forgot what I call it. You also want to make a new layer. So go to layer at the top, new layer, hit OK, and then merge this circle into that layer. So make sure you move, see the circle initial is on the bottom of it. You want to click on the layer right here where your circle's on, and you want to push it up 1. There you go. And then you're going to merge down onto that layer. So let me see what click that is. That is going to be a right click. Right click and then go merge down. Now it's rasterized, but it's not rasterized in the same way. It's rasterized in the way that the stroke is actually now gone. There's no stroke. In fact, you can go in here and add another stroke if you wanted to. You can keep doing that till it covers the whole page if you want. But for now, the stroke has become the shape itself. So now this whole thing, if you want to erase it, you can take your eraser and you can erase it, whichever way you want. All right. So for now, like I said, we're gonna keep it vectored because we're gonna do some other stuff with this. So I'm gonna duplicate it. Interestingly enough, you can pretend that this whole thing is transparent. You can. And you can take the line and you can determine exactly how it would go all the way around the pokeball if it was there. And that way you don't have to really kind of guesstimate on how these lines should look. So I'm gonna lower this a little bit. I'm gonna lower about that much for all the internal lines because there's just so many of them. All right. So duplicate the first line right there. Duplicate the second line. Actually, you don't have to duplicate the second line. Sorry. My bad. Doing a little too much there. You can go right here and you can duplicate both of them at the same time. Just go to layer, hit shift and select both. So select the top one where you want to start, then select the bottom one while holding shift and it'll select both of them. Or you can go to alt and you can select multiple ones separate from each other if you want, like that. But instead of doing alt, I would just say shift. It's the fastest way to go. I mean, either way it'll work. All right, then you want to duplicate those two layers. I don't know if I did it. Did I just do it? I think I did. All right. Yeah. All right. And there we go. We have the top part of that ball now. Now you notice how it's like it's coming off. It's coming out of the ball. That implies that something ain't right with the original drawing, which is okay. You can fix that by simply taking it and dragging it down till it's all in there. This only means that you will adjust it a little bit more later on, but it also means that your lines are more right now than they were in the sketch. Okay, down, and I'm gonna drop that in a little, just a little pinch right there, right there. Boom. All right. Let's say voila. All right, so a little trick to trying to get these lines right here rasterized is that you can choose every other line, rather than making a whole ton of those empty layers like this to merge down onto. You can actually merge these together. So I would say this one right here, the bottom one, the one at the very bottom for this line, you can copy it onto this top one, and then, well, actually I'm going to show you something else. First, let's finish the lines first, and then we'll get there. I'm trying to go too fast. I'm like, time is of the essence. Duplicate. All right. So for this bottom one, as you can imagine, it's a little smaller, so you just lower the size just a pinch, and once you're down there to where it belongs, there you go. You can drop this a little bit because not only does it get smaller, but it also tapers off a little bit. So you want to get that nice round shape going. And then unfortunately you can't replicate that one because it's just different for the bottom. So you want to go right here to the top, and you want to take that layer right there, and then do the same thing. I think I'm going to add a little bit of warp to that because that just, something about it screams it needs more warp. Actually, no, never mind. Cancel. Just edit, undo that. We don't need more warp, it's fine. Alright, so that's done. I'm going to merge the top two layers down. The reason why I'm merging both of the top two layers down is because we don't need this section right here. We can get rid of that completely. So all you do is take your eraser tool after you merge both layers down, and they're already rasterized to the point where we need it, so we don't actually have to make another layer and then merge down onto that layer. You just selected the two layers, and now you merge them both together, and now you can actually just erase away. Yeah, I'm telling you, that thing's gonna need some more work. It's fine. For now, for tutorial purposes, we're just gonna leave that alone. Alright. So if layers are not next to each other, you can cheat by doing that. So you can go like this layer right here at the very top, and this layer right here almost near the very bottom. They're not touching each other. You can merge those two together, and then you can erase them separately from each other. See, you can erase that. Well, not the whole thing, of course, but a little bit off of that one. This is just a way to make things a little quicker for you, rather than have to go to layer, new layer, then put that layer, pull that other layer that's underneath it up above it, and then merge down. You can just select two layers that are, you can select one layer that is already rasterized, and then the layer that you wish to merge down, and then you just merge them together, and then voila, you have a rasterized layer. Alright, so we have another one here. This one's not done yet. We can actually merge this one to the top layers, which we already rasterized and erased away, so we can merge that, and then we can just erase the part that we don't need, which is what's behind the ball. There we go, look at that. And then we can do the same thing for this bottom one, and we just keep going down till we get them all pretty much So you can merge that to this one right here, which is already, we already rendered or rasterized earlier. So, oh boy, wait, no, we can't do that one. Then caught me cheating. Was like, no, you can't do that. Oh well, we can always do this one. Yeah, we can merge these two together. They don't touch. If they don't touch, you're good to go. If they touch, then you're gonna have to do a layer, new layer. There's nothing else you can do. Or you can always merge it with the layer inside your drawing. I'm just doing it for this purpose with just the pokeball itself. But you have other lines that are already rasterized already. You can just hook it up to one of those guys, and you're good to go. Eventually, it's all gonna be fused together into one, so it doesn't really matter if you accidentally or purposefully add it to another layer that's already been done or erased and is no longer a vector. Layer, new layer. It doesn't have any effects. Of course, yeah, you can't have effects on it, or the effects will actually affect what you're trying to merge down onto it. What is going on right there? All right, let's see what we got here. The last two. The last two I can't actually do because, of course, that is the whole circle. So layer, new layer. And then we're gonna merge down. And then we're gonna merge that whole thing. Right, that looks like one good polo ball. Looks like a polo ball. What's a polo ball called anyway? I think it's not called a polo ball. I would imagine they wouldn't call it a polo ball. They would call it something more fancy, like a pug. I don't know, something that sounds French. Is polo even French? Oh, I mean. Hey there, buddy. Are you enjoying my tutorial on in Pokemon stuff, I guess? That's what we can call this. How to... In all honesty, you don't really have to draw Pokemon stuff with this style. You can do anything you want. This is just Pokemon. It just so happened that Pokemon are being drawn in a certain way, but I'm just saying that you can do this with whatever else you draw. Whatever you like. Whatever you like to draw would work for this. Alright, so now that that's done, the easy part is right now. You take this guy right here. Step 4. Duplicate it again. It's the easiest part of all. Just duplicate the layer and adjust it accordingly. So you just go to edit, you're gonna go to free transform, and then you're gonna just click and drag it to wherever you want the lines to now be at. You want to push it off to the side just a little bit because of the oval. Merge those two layers that you were just transforming, merge them together, so now they're just one layer. You're gonna do that by clicking right here, right click, and then go to merge layers, or you can go up to the top and hit layer, and then go to merge layer. Right, so after you're done that, take and erase away whatever you don't need off of this. Which is everything. Erase all of it. Don't worry about it. Except for that gold piece. The gold piece we can keep. So we're gonna keep just a pinch of the gold. And there's a reason why we're keeping it. So At this point, we're just erasing away, so there's nothing special happening here, just erasing, that's all. Nothing special. I'm sure you guys got that one down. Alright, after you're done erasing, you're going to draw the final circle for this object, which is the one that is going to actually be a little bit tougher than what I initially thought it was going to be. But it protrudes just a little bit out of the shape, just a little bit. So you're going to have to match it. You're going to have to match it the best of your ability. Not that I'm trying to teach you guys how to draw a dang pokeball. I'm just trying to teach you how to draw, how to ink in this way. Okay, that's all. That's all I'm doing. Nothing special. Not a tutorial on how to do a pokeball. Although, if you learned how to do a pokeball today, then congratulations, you've learned 2 things. Alright, layer, new layer. And merge that layer down. And now the circle layer is also rasterized, finally, after a long wait. The reason I'm rasterize the circle layer is because we're going to actually erase away a little bit of it so that this looks like it's floating over. Draw 2 lines there. Ooh, what did I do that for? Bring it back. Yeah. Okay, this circle is too big. Just a pinch too big, actually. Not that bad. Okay, that's done. Now for the I forget what part. Oh yeah, the center circles. We can replicate the circle because it's still rasterized, so we can actually just go ahead and duplicate it one time and then raise it and just make it the shape of the button. To the size of the button, not the shape. Jeez, it's already the shape of the button. You're gonna duplicate that one more time because you need the bottom of the button as well. You're not going to actually do anything but push that one back by using your arrow tools on your keyboard, or if you can just drag it to the best of your ability to the back to where the button looks like it starts on the Pokeball. And then after you're done that, then you're going to grab your line tool and then make some lines. Yep. Line tool there. Yep, I didn't do it. I didn't do it right. My fault. Oh, yeah, make that 4. Alright, so for the back layer, you're going to take that one and you're going to merge it with the layer furthest to the back of that layer, which is the main circle. And now you have 2 layers combined into one. You can actually erase both of them at the same time if you want. This one right here and this one. All of them can go. Weird. Oh. Don't do that. I'm trying to do stuff. Alright. Yeah, it does. I'm sorry. I wish it was quicker than this. Okay, but Pokeball is done. Take a look at that Pokeball. It looks very Pokeball-ish. I guarantee it. Alright, so I'm going to actually do one thing for the top of the ball. I wasn't planning on doing it, but I'm going to make this look a little bit more raised. And the only reason why is because I just don't know if it makes sense if it's not raised a little bit. The only way I'm going to do that is by drawing a line right across the whole thing. God dang it. Alright, cool. to draw your line, you're going to make it diagonal. Edit, hit free transform again, turn it right back into the position that it was initially in, and then hit the warp tool at the very top. Or you can go to edit, you can go to transform, and then you can click on warp. That's the long way. Sometimes I do that, but I tend to use hit the warp button nowadays. Alright, and then you're going to adjust that accordingly to the top. Right here at the top of the Pokeball, just to make it look a little bit more, I don't know, pronounced. We just want the top to be a little bit more bold than the bottom line so that it looks like the top of the Pokeball comes out just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Right here at the back, I'm going to add an extra line. And then I'm going to erase away at the main circle tool just a pinch. I realize a significant issue with this right here. The colors are actually very, very, very similar to the colors that are going to be the fill colors, which is wrong. You don't want to do that. I will change the darkness of the line in a moment, just a pinch, so that that doesn't become a problem when we start coloring. But yeah, that will be something that you will probably run into yourself. It's okay, you can always fix it, and I'm going to show you how right now. There you go. That's better. I don't know. I always felt like drawing that specific type of Pokeball was always complicated. It was never a really easy task. That's one of the reasons why I picked that one. Also, it has a lot of Lucario colors in it, so that's the reason why I went with it. Okay, so let's go ahead and merge everything into one single Pokeball, starting from the first object to the last object. Oh, almost there. All those layers are just that part. Alright, we have the Pokeball. The whole thing is right here. There we go. So in order to adjust this, since it's all one single layer, you are lucky. You can just cheat. And what you can do is go right here to edit, or your image adjustments, brightness and contrast. And then you can either raise the brightness dark or lower the brightness and make it just a slight bit darker. You can also do this, cancel, by going to edit, not edit, but image right here at the very top. And you can go to adjustments again. And you can go to hue and saturation. Then you can just go right here to lightness, and that's the quickest way to do it. You can just make it darker, lighter, whichever way you want to do it. I want to make it darker, ever so slightly. Not too much darker, but well, right there is good. Ooh, negative 49, maybe negative 34. That's a good number. And there you go. Your Pokeball is done. You can merge that down with your inked layers and your top layer as well. So I'm going to duplicate it. That's another one I want to merge. And merge it with this one. Merge down. Merge this guy down. Right, there we go. Now for the coloring portion of it. If you missed the coloring before, you're not missing it now. Here we go. So, start off with your lighter colors. I would say start off with the lightest colors you possibly can put on there, but you can do whatever you want. You'd also start with the darkest colors if you like. That's also a good option as well if you want to, I don't know, shadows. Do you like shadows? Shadows are good. Alright, but I'm going to start with the lightest colors and then we'll move on from there. Oh my god. Let's get that nice yellow going here. There we go. Now for the white section. The white, this is the lightest of the white color. And I think this is the lightest of the gray section. This is the lightest of the red section. Oh, that's not 100%, is it? Nope. And then I guess the bottom will replicate that, so let's do that at the bottom. And this darkest at the bottom section. And these are all just going to be dark. Alright. Yeah, let's change that to light. There's a reason why I'm doing that. Okay? There's a reason. Okay, I'm not doing it for no reason. Alright, so then we're going to start adding the shades of the colors that we already have in there. So we're going to start off with number 1. Wait, yeah, that's right. Alright, we're going to start off by clicking and going to your shape tool, going back to your ellipse tool again, and instead of using this vector point one, you're going to go right over here to, if you're looking at the very top of the screen, it's going to be in your upper left hand side. Right here where it says fill pixels, you select that and you're going to get yourself some rasterized shapes instead of vectored shapes, which is good. You're going to draw in your circle by hitting the shift tool so you can get a nice even shade all the way around. And then, actually I'm going to go back and try that again. You might have to try more than one time. Oh boy. Did I get a new subscriber? Is that what I got? I feel like I got a new subscriber. Someone subscribed in here, or I think someone subscribed to my YouTube. One person didn't. Anyway, I gotta keep trying. I think that's fair enough right there. Right, there we go. Alright, so now for the inside, you're gonna go ahead and select the, I would say start off with the, you know, this should be really light. No, it's brighter. Let's see how bright that is. Like, take that back. Make sure you always go in and get these sharp corners before you finish coloring, like, or start coloring. Just to make things a little easier on you to get the sharp corners done. I forget sometimes, like I almost did this just now, and that would have sucked. All right, the reason why we're doing it the lightest colors is because the shadows that we're adding. Okay, that's the reason why. All right, so let's get back into it. Select the yellow side. This right here is going to be a tricky one because the yellow side obviously is not going to be straight yellow. There is a little bit of a chromatical thing going on over there, a little chrome action. So I'm not going to actually leave it this way, but for now, for the purpose of filling it in, we're gonna do a little bit like that. Off center it a little bit, please. It's really hard to get it because it doesn't tell you exactly where it's gonna fall. So when you drag it, it looks like it's gonna end up somewhere, but then when you look at it again, you're like, no, that's not where I want it. I think for sure, if anything, the shape should be more to the back than to the front of the shape of the pokeball. Stop it. See, this is the one thing I keep running into a snag with. You will too. If you try this, you will have a little bit of a snag doing this, but it's fine. It's fine if you run into a snag because it's okay. Life goes on now. Mother. Jeez. I've done this 100 times one time. Try to get it right. That's not going to happen today, though. There we go. I can live with that. Alright, now we do the red side and then the... Jeez, I'm pretty dang sure there's an easier way to do this than this. But I haven't learned it yet, so enjoy. Maybe if I followed that guy's steps from last time, the guy from yesterday, I was like, this is what you need to do if you want to draw good shit. Alright. That's not drawing. This is more or less like, I don't know. It's not. It doesn't feel like drawing. It feels more or less like something else. I don't know what you can call this. Yeah, you guys can think of a name of it and call it out. This is tedious work. All right, so you know, it's just a pokeball. That's all it was. It was just one guy dang pokeball, and it's taken forever. You would think it'd be like super quick, but nope. Alright, I'm gonna add the gray, and then after I add the gray, which for some reason the gray in this is one single solid tone, which is wrong. I don't know why I did that, but you know, I had my reasons for doing it whenever I did it. I'm gonna correct that by actually making it one, just doing the same method over again for that, for the gray side. And there we go. It looks more or less like a pokeball. There's a little bit of a light section here, so I'm trying to find out where the light's coming from. It's kind of hard to tell that. You know, I'm looking at it, I'm like, I have no idea. Okay, so let's go right here and then start adding in some of the highlights. The highlights are, I would say, primarily for the chrome sections of this pokeball. So we go into the chrome sections of it, like here, and then we go right here and we find out where the yellow is, most yellow, and then we just draw in lines. Literally, that's all we do. There's nothing special about it. Let me see, right there, right there. Maybe. I'm gonna do the ones for the top as well. Kind of put it in the same general area, but not in the same spot. And bottom one more. I'm actually gonna use some of this chrome color, tone, whatever, and I'm gonna make one more additional line that's not supposed to be there. Alright, now I'm going to get a really strange, odd, bright highlight that's not even supposed to be in the drawing at all. And I'm going to actually add it to this front face. There's a reason why I'm doing it. Don't ask questions. Alright, let's go right here. And then I'm going to draw in the circle that we initially had before. Just to try to outline this highlight that I just added just now. Hey, there we go. Let's add that dark orange in there. Just a tiny bit of it. And then I'm gonna go and add those points of interest right to the edges of this. And finally, last but not least, let's go ahead and add the final highlight to this guy using just a regular brush tool, and just throw it in there like that. I'm not really gonna do too much on that note. Oh, well, actually, I think there's two highlights. Let's go down to the bottom and add one more. Oh, it's got a gradient already on it. The Pokeball that's here does not follow the rules, which is one of the things that I don't like about the Pokeball in this. So this time we're actually going to do something different for this Pokeball that I have not done in any of my other stuff. I'm actually going to change the values for each individual line in the Pokeball itself, so it follows the rules of the whole drawing. That should be interesting. Alright, so for the top portion of it, we're gonna go here. If you want to try this, see what happens if you try to go in and change the color. You'll likely start to get huge amounts of pixels and a really garbagey looking piece of work. However, if you go and you use the channel mixer, so go here, you go to image, and then you go to adjustments, and you go to channel mixer, you can actually change the colors without screwing things up as much as you would expect. So I'm going to go right here, and then go to red, because that section is red, right? Why does it say plus 100%? I don't know why it's doing that. Is it red? I can't even tell. Oh, here we go. So I'm going to add 186%. That's heavy, dude. The reason why I'm keeping this number in my head, and the reason why I'm actually saying the number, is because you're not only adjusting the top, you're going down to the bottom, and you're adjusting the same color again. So you want to remember that number that you use in the channel mixer, or you're going to completely forget. Right there. Image adjustment, you go to channel mixer. Alright, you see red is 100%. You're going to go to 186. You can go to the gold part of it. I'm gonna multi-select this one. Oh, oops. Can't do that. Alright, let's go to here and we're gonna just select a whole bunch of sections at once rather than having to waste a whole bunch of time going back and forth between the two colors or something. In fact, there's no other colors, so we're not going back and forth and doing anything. We're just doing this part and it's done. I wish I knew I was listening to, but I don't. Right, there we go. So for this one, we're going to add a little bit of green, and I would say go to photo filter. So we're going to go to layer right at the very top and go down to, well, not down, but not layer, image, adjustment, channel mixer again. And instead of red, we're going to go with green because it's more green than it's anything. Then we're going to go back to the red tab, and then we're going to adjust it ever so slightly. It should start turning a little bit green. This one's going to probably need a little bit more work. Yeah. You know what? Instead of messing around too much with that, I'm going to go, since we already have it green already, we're already good here on the green. We're going to go right to adjustments again, so layer, image, adjustment. Then you're going to go to hue and saturation. You're going to click on that. And then you're going to just go and change the hue of where you're at till you get to yellow, which is, that's a little bit of a cheat, but I mean, if you don't want to sit around all day trying to figure out how to get that color right. There you go. Right there on the yellow mark. Then you want to get out of that whole selection process. I think it's okay to have that little black line right there with the where the black sections are. It's good, and the silver, it's just all on its own there, which is okay. You're okay with that. This Pokeball looks more appropriate for this one than it has looked in the past, except for the fact that it has that weird ass shade. Let me fix that. What is that? It looks weird. I think it was Lucario's colors that I threw inside there that was trying to mess with me. Trust me, it's not as skippy as that. Almost all the music that you're hearing today actually sounds okay. It's just that the edit that I put in there because of YouTube is really screwing a lot of the tracks up. I'm actually going to change the yellow a little bit. The overall color of the yellow. So like similar. Oh shit. I'm gonna change it so that it looks more like Lucario's color, just a pinch like his color. Yeah, that's better. Alright, save that, and voila, we have a Pokeball! Oh, you were making popcorn? Oh, God. You know, I can smell the popcorn from here. That's just like, that's weird. I don't even know how it's possible. Alright, for this stick right here, I did realize this earlier, and I wasn't going to say anything early because I was too busy doing other shit, so I really didn't care much then. However, this stick... What? Yeah, there you go. It needs to be darker, so image adjustment, brightness, contrast, and we just lower the brightness a little bit. There we go. That looks okay. Now, last but not least, of course, is Mr. Snivy, who's hiding inside the bushes over there in the corner. If you didn't see him before, he's there. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and color this guy. Of course, he doesn't have any part of support in the background. He's just there, of course. So, we have to figure out how to make him stand out a little bit. So when Snivy's in the background, you guys may not know this, but I use background colors to color the Snivy in. So every single time you see him in the background, the colors that are used to make him, draw him in the background are all background colors. And the reason why I do that is so that he blends into the background perfectly. So you really he doesn't stand out. So right now I'm going through the background that is going to be used for this, and I'm selecting the colors for the background. What the? Time sure flies when you don't have any of it. Oops, wrong layer. The process is the same as always. You just draw the shape. In this case, the stroke is still inside of the circle, so you're still good. You don't really have to do too much on that note, but you do have to change the stroke color to whatever the new color is supposed to be, which is the green. Hey, thanks, bud. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the thumbs up button for it. I don't know. I like thumbs, okay? Just give me them. They're all good. Just smack it in there. Not that I'm saying that you like it. I'm just saying thumbs are good for me. Of course, if you didn't realize this in my previous stuff, Snivy does not follow any of the rules of the drawing. It doesn't really matter. I don't try to do that. So, despite all the characters having lines that are in the color of the sections of themselves. You know, like if they have a tan part, then the line's sort of like a darker shade of tan. Well, Snivy's not like that. Snivy is just green. Actually, I think at one point I did draw Snivy. I'm not talking about in one of these, but I mean like at one point I did. If you guys are interested in how to draw the lines and ink the lines, this is a great tutorial, so, you know, eyeball it. If you haven't checked out the other video, which is part 1 of this thing, you should probably check it out. It's really good at explaining it. It's gonna be a little better at explaining it than I'm going to be explaining it now. But I mean, if you want to, you can. Alright, so while you're inking, like the pokeball, figures are the same. You draw a diagonal line. If you can't draw a diagonal line, then draw a diagonal line and then turn it back to the position that you need it in. Okay? That's the rules. So make sure you draw that diagonal line. It's very important. In the other video I explained it a lot better than that. Probably went into a whole lot of detail on that, into how the diagonal line works. But if you don't draw a diagonal line, you will have this ridiculously hard time trying to warp it to the shape that you want it. Just the worst time of your life. You're just sitting down there trying to figure it out. And then more than likely you're not going to figure it out, so you're going to, you know, give up on that line and probably start over. But if you do start over, please use a diagonal line next time. Anybody give it a try yet? Just wondering. I know you guys are probably up to something else. I would imagine that you guys are tuning into my stream and be like, oh hell, I'm gonna try that now. Especially the guys who are saying it was a lot of steps. I mean, I understand that too. I honestly wish it was fewer steps because I would want to do it a lot faster. You know what I mean? By the way, if you already have a line, you draw it down and it's diagonal already, you don't have to do anything. You can just work with that. Just letting you know. Music stopped. Holy shit, I am a little bit tired. But I'm also trying to get this done. It's like, it's weird. It's like a weird feeling. Weird feeling all over. I sure hope I get lucky tonight at work. I mean, I don't know if I will, but I have high hopes that I will get lucky. And I'll be able to catch a couple Z's here and there. If not, it's just gonna be real strong coffee, and I'm gonna wing it. Also, I have to do some risky art snapping tonight. So I gotta go out and I gotta take some photos in some risky spots. That should be fun. I mean, I hope I get it done tonight. It's raining, so I don't know. But yeah, some places, man, you don't want to be caught up in there taking photos in the middle of the night when people are half awake and driving. It's a bad idea. Oh, sorry. I know your ears are probably burning from that last track. Dude, I'm running out of time so fast, it's ridiculous. Like, I thought I had more time, but I apparently I don't. Wow. That is incredible. I'll go down there and eat something, and then I'm about to go out and suffer. I wish life wasn't this way, but it is, man. If I had some sort of means that I could do art all the time, man, I would do it. I would definitely do it. I'm addicted to this. This is what I have fun doing. But the only thing is, man, I don't know if you guys know this, but once you turn art into a job, it's just not fun anymore. I've done it. It's never fun. It's never fun waking up and knowing that you can't use your skills that you've learned over whatever time to draw stuff for you. That's not fun. Like, I draw for other people only. Nah. Can never do that. Let's add the freckles. Oh, that's not right. Wasn't I gonna do some nice ferret stuff? Yeah, it was. Do a little ferret. I haven't drawn that one in a little while now. I mean, I did an alteration of one of the ferret drawings, but I haven't done like a ferret in a while. So, just like I haven't done a Flygon in forever, and haven't done a whole bunch of other stuff in a really long time. You know, there was a Flygon that had a knife too. She never knew that, but the Flygon and the Snivy, they all had the knife, and I just never really drew the Flygon enough. It's stuck. You remember that? I don't know if you guys remember that. You guys probably don't remember Flygon at all. There was two of them. what sucks so much about going out here and working this job where you're absolutely a nobody? Is that fact that you're a nobody out there. God, I hate it. I hate it so much. I hate it so much. I hate it with a vengeance. You know, it's like something that I want to change so badly, but I just have no way of doing it. No way at all. Like, I'm thinking that after school's out, I'll find like a real method of doing it. But right now, like, even financially, it's impossible to do that because I'm actually paying for school right out of pocket. And school's not cheap, apparently. So since I'm continuously in school, I'm continuously paying on school out of pocket, and it is drying my pockets out. Interestingly enough. Which means the solution that I'm thinking of will definitely have to come after school when I'm, you know, done with whatever the cycle, right? And yeah, no matter what, there'll still be school, so that sucks. There's no solution at all. That's life, dude. I guess that's life. Alright. Or at least life the way we made it. Stop doing that sound. Like weird. I had him looking away the last time, but let's get this done. Let's get the other one done, or at least sketched out, and then it's back to the Stitch versus Toothless, and then the continuous cycle continues until I figure out a way to solve this problem. I'm just like for instance, school just takes so much time away from me right now. Like, all my off days are spent at school. I think even the holiday off days would be spent at school because I have to make up for some classes if I want to graduate on time. You know, I should have muted the system sound like maybe like 2 hours ago, but I haven't done it yet. How lazy am I? I don't know. I feel like it also contributes to the distortion of the music a little bit, so I don't care. I'll distort it as much as I possibly can. So YouTube finds out what's going on. And I'm like, oh no, you can't do that. You can't do it. I'm gonna stop you. You look so upset. Jeez. Alright there, buddy. Merge that, all that good stuff down. We're gonna use, let me see what layers we have on top. No, we don't have any layers on top. Where's the main layers? There we go, there they are. Alright. And a knife layer. So let's merge everything. Let's merge visible, the whole snivy side. Alright. I would take votes. I would take votes on who thinks I should just sample from my previous drawing, and that way the background gets done quicker, or should I just redo the entire background over again to show you how background's done, which will take many hours and it will not get done today at all. It won't get done at all. So go ahead, give us your opinions. I'm all ears. Be quick about it though, because I'm gonna decide very soon. So remember the choices. The choices is restart the background from scratch, which is something I rarely ever do because I usually just reused my old backgrounds that I had drawn from so long ago. I just add more stuff to it. Or redraw a brand new background, which will take hours, and I will not be done today for sure because it will take hours. Oh man, that was a good yawn. Oh, that was. I think people want to know how the background's done, so I think there's only one option here, and that is to redraw the whole thing over. Oh, let me looky at what people are saying. I don't know what you're saying. I don't have enough thumbs down there either. You guys not giving me all the thumbs up. Oh man. Actually, there's only 7 people watching, so why would there be like more than 7 thumbs? I don't know. Where am I getting extra thumbs from? Huh. But anyway, but I think you guys want to know how the background's done. Like, isn't that what? Or no? You guys don't care? Okay, cool. I mean, if you guys don't care, that's cool. That's cool with me. I can just go ahead and continue. I'm pretty sure there'll be other times where we'll have opportunity for me to do the entire background over again. Yeah, of course there will be. Or not. I don't know. I'm a very lazy person. Alright, let's go with the... Ooh, please don't open over the top. Let me open this thing here just to be cautious to see what happens when I open it. Oh good, it opened another tab. I was about to say, YouTube, look away! Here comes the background. It always comes in like that. You're like, oh wait, that looks like a jumble of nothing. I've used this background a couple times, actually. You remember the previous one. You're gonna allow me to move it up a little bit? Yeah. There you go. We're gonna go with right about there. We're gonna get rid of those rocks. We don't need those. We don't need that sky. We might need these rocks and that tree right there. We need that. I'm gonna have to redraw. I'm gonna draw a tree in there. The sky looks like a pile of rubbish. And that's because there's no sky. I didn't even take the effort to draw in the sky. It's okay. I'll copy some of this guy here. As you can tell, I really don't enjoy drawing backgrounds from scratch. They take too long, and they tend to look kind of like what you already have drawn, which is another bummer. At the very end, you're like, well, I could have just copied that from my old drawing. Why did I redraw the same thing over again? So in order to avoid that from occurring, well, actually, you know what, to be honest with you, we don't need this blue. I'll put it in there, but we don't need that. We don't need that blue at all. Alright, let me raise the opacity and then we go to work on it. Doesn't mean that we're gonna get it done today. Because that is a lot of rubbish. I'm not even joking. That is like a ton. I've not seen that much. Usually the parts that you're seeing are hidden underneath the characters, so you don't see anything. But this is like... What the? Why is it paste into? Stop making mask. I don't need mask. Step back. Edit, paste it. Yeah, this is all bad. This is all bad. Let me look at something. I think this was all grass in the original, wasn't it? No, it was not. It wasn't. But the lighting is a little bit off. That ball's wrong and all this other stuff is wrong. But this is like a baseline. This is what I call a base. This is the base of what you're gonna see. You don't start off with the main colors. Although I don't like that one too much. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take off from the other side of the drawing. What the fucking man? What the hell? YouTube's gonna be like, oh, what did you say? I think I heard him say something special. I said forking. Fork. Gotta watch my language. Be careful with my forks here. YouTube will hear it. Yeah, remember this is not Picardo. I can't say forks. Alright, why is that blur? Oh, because I'm sampling from the blurred layer, which is garbage, pure shit. Yeah, kakamokish. Alright, so let's copy this. What layer am I on? I'm not even on the same I'm not even on the same picture. That's not right. I wonder how that happened. I must have like selected it. Alright, let's paste that. Edit, free transform it, horizontal. Alright, so don't take my advice from this, okay? I'm not gonna tell you to go and sample your old or not old, but sample your previous artworks for background textures and stuff. Although it is helpful, but I wouldn't recommend doing it. Alright, merge that down. Merge down. Alright, I think I have enough to know where all the colors are going to go and how I'm going to plot them. Alright, so when you draw enough of the same thing over and over and over and over, you kind of tend to borrow from some of your drawings. I don't know if you noticed from some of my most recent ones, but the background has been the same maybe about 4 to 5 times. And I have no intent to stop doing it anytime soon. However, every single one of those backgrounds has their own unique like stuff to it. They're not like exactly the same unless they're like the same scene. Like this one, the one I did with Rylu and Lucario, I did like a second angle to that one. That one has almost an identical background, just like from a different angle, or identical looking background, not identical. I did that because I wanted to make those seem like it was the same scene, and just at a different time or a different angle or not. So you can do that. Doesn't really matter. I'd say do whatever you can do to make your artwork, you know, stand out. But also do whatever you can do to improve your art, because your art's always improving. There's never a time where your art is done and you're done improving it, and you know, I mean, you can never be done improving it. There's always something you can improve upon. That's what I say. So I mean, you can choose to believe that or not, but I mean, you're always working on that. Anyways, for backgrounds, for the most part, it's a lot of color sampling. I don't know if you noticed that from right off the bat, but it's just like you're just sampling colors with the eyedropper tool and repainting them down. If you're good at painting stuff, you do really good at this one, because that's all it is you're repainting it over and over again. But of course, in my case, I'm also modifying a couple things as to the looks of the drawing as well. So I'll be sampling from my previous drawings a couple times in this, not just one time, and not just this one time either. I don't know if you noticed, but I also try to incorporate some of the characters' colors into the background. I do that on purpose so the background doesn't stand out too much and the characters don't seem like they are a little out of focus either. And that's why Lucario and this, that's why they work so well together in these, because they are pretty much the same color as the background, which means I can blend them in pretty good. And I do it all the time. Crap, I think I'm gonna have to leave soon. Sadness. But that's okay, it's fine. It's just painterly stuff. Highly recommend it that you use like a low opacity brush and you go through and you just like you experiment with it. You experiment to see what works for you. Just recommend it. I would say that this is purely just painting. At this point, we're just painting stuff. So mixing colors and other skills are gonna be a little bit heavy on this end. It's kind of hard for me to describe those in this stream, but I will have another stream where I explain how to well, at least I'm gonna try try my best to explain how you can shade and paint stuff, like soft shade and actually paint. So I'll show you that in another stream, not this one. And it might be the Stitch versus Toothless one, because I can probably like sample like a portion of that, and then I can draw that. I can work on that one. We'll have to see. Yeah, but for now it's just gonna be this guy. Didn't look like it sampled that color properly at all. Let's try this brown color then. Let's get some of these other colors going in there. I know it's a tree. I'm trying to get the tree colors in there. That's tough. I don't think that's gonna be ideal for this, but it's alright. It's not like it's nothing's final. You can always work on it. You can always reveal stuff like grass. I know he looks like he's floating in space right now, because he is. None of these darker none of these colors right here underneath will actually show, because it makes no point to actually have color that bright or that dark down there. So eventually we'll get rid of all of those highlights that's underneath them. And then we'll add grass areas. It needs work. A lot of it. I was about to say, my favorite track, one of my favorite tracks is playing right now, but it's not sounding as good as it used to without the mods. See what we're doing for time. 14. That's not good. Not the time. I meant the thing that I was looking at was not good. Okay, jeez. Yeah, I'll figure out a way to get that pokeball down to Earth a little bit there. It's kind of floating in space. It's a little better, but it's not good yet. I'll figure it out. That still needs a lot of work. Let me see what the original looked like, because there's something else there that's missing. Yeah, there's grass that belongs right here, and I'm pretty dang sure I'm gonna forget about it. Knowing me, I would forget about that. So let's do what we're gonna do is gonna actually steal this grass right over here from this drawing. Oh, if I can steal that grass, that'd be just fucking, I mean, fantastic. Gotta watch my Frankensteins! Alright. No Franks, no S for Franks. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and select the area and just draw it in. We're gonna just draw it in because that's all we can do now. I was trying to get the other layer and just add it in there, the grass, but it's okay. I mean, either way it works. Either way, we'll live either way. Oh, I want some of that darker grass, dude. In fact, give me that light grass. That needs to be out here somewhere. It's about 50% there. It's not really there. I would say, you know what? Take that back. It's about 45% there. That's okay. When I get back, I will continue it and finish it more likely. I'm going to darken that pokeball just a slight bit. I mean, the highlights are nice, but I don't feel like they need to be that strong. I feel like they're a little bit too heavy. So let's go ahead and use the colors of Lucario, and we're going to decrease the... Not by that much. I mean, come on. A little bit. There you go. Now we're talking. And if what you see, you can see, I don't know if you can see that, but what I'm doing is color matching Lucario's colors. And Pokeball right there, so that they kind of look very, very similar. I'm even including the highlighted section of the ball as being this section of Lucario. So the ball really, really, really blends in. You almost don't see it. At a distance, you can almost barely see the ball sitting right there. As opposed to before, where it was like super bright and stood out a little bit too much. Alright. I think that's good for now, though. I'm gonna save it there. Well, actually, hold on. Let's just see if we can change the darkness of this a little bit. No, that made it brighter. Let's leave that dark. We want the ball to sit out of the drawing. That's alright. I'll add some more detail in the background. Actually, for this one, I'm actually going to go into a little bit more heavy detail into the details of this. So this far area is actually going to look a lot more detailed than this one than I normally do. And the reason why I'm doing that is because there's so little going on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the clouds. I'm going to make the clouds angle from this direction down to the characters. And then I'm also going to add a lot more detail here, so that it balances with all the detail that's going on here, because it's got a lot of detail right here and there's almost nothing here. So this needs to be a little bit more stronger on this side, and then the clouds need to angle down so that it redirects the person's eyes from this detail here and then up into the clouds and then back down into the characters. We don't want your eyes going out of the drawing. And a lot of people do that in their drawings a lot. They draw arrows. That's what they call arrows. Where you put something in the foreground right here at the very edge and it creates an arrow that points out of the drawing, so it just goes whoosh. If you do by any chance run into yourself drawing an arrow in your drawing and you can't fix it for any reason, change the direction of the strokes in the object that you're drawing. Like for instance, this corner is green. It's all green, right? And if you really cut it off right here, it's an arrow pointing right out of the drawing, but it doesn't really point out the drawing. When you look down here, it doesn't look like it's pointing out, because the grass blades are curling inwards like they are right now. It points you, it kind of redirects your eyes right back into the drawing again. And then the second point of interest is going to be this pokeball right here, and then if you look at these grass blades right here, they point upwards and towards the character. So now look, instead of you going straight out, you're going back all the way around and right back into the drawing again. It's a little trick. However, the tree is not done yet, so that's the reason why it's just you can't unset. A lot of stuff has to be done to that tree to make it actually work right, but right now it's just a giant arrow pointing right out of the drawing. No matter what I do right now, it's still going to just be pointing right out. And it's not really an arrow, it's just all the vertical lines are no good. So I get rid of the vertical lines, and I'm going to do some other stuff, but I can't turn the lines in this direction, because if I do, it's just emphasizing the arrow, which is the corner. And you have these ears right here, 2 ears, and they're all pointing up and out. So they're pointing away, and this one's pointing directly at the corner, which is bad, but it's okay. I'll fix it. Don't worry, I got you covered. But yeah, you want to avoid making arrows the corners of your artwork, and you want to redirect the person's eyes back into the center all the time using the background. This is at the point in the background. This is where you have the chance to do that. So if you didn't have the chance to do it in the drawing, you kind of messed up there, you can still make up for it in doing the background, because the background can help you re-emphasize the characters again. Alright, that's going to be all for today. I thank you guys for popping into my stream and enjoying it. I hope you guys liked it. I hope you guys hit that like button. You don't have to hit subscribe. I don't really care too much about that. But hey, you guys are smashing the like button. Like the last video, you guys are doing a great job on that, so that's good stuff. Alright. Hope to see you on the next stream. I'm going to be doing some more painterly type stuff on there, so you guys are probably going to enjoy that, I hope. What's Snivy? There's no Snivy in the background in this drawing. I don't know what you're talking about, bud.